YOLO. It's so important to just start investing. Even if you don't feel like you're ready or if you don't fully understand it, the most important thing is to start. They say the best time to start investing was 30 years ago, and the second best time is today. And with how compound interest works, it makes sense. The sooner you can get your money into something, start growing in the market, the sooner it can have a chance to actually grow, expand, and reinvest. You'll learn along the way, and you'll probably make plenty of mistakes like I did when I first started, and like I still do to this day because nobody's perfect. But if you never start, or if you wait until things are perfect, you'll miss countless opportunities. The best way to start is to just jump into it and get your feet wet. You could start with as little as like $5 to $20. Find a company or an ETF, do at least a basic amount of research on it, and put your money into it, and then just watch. When you invest in something, it shouldn't be in the thought process of getting rich quickly or in the idea of days and weeks. Investing should be more of a months to years or years to decades kind of mindset, because that's how long it takes to actually grow and compound. Our modern world, everything happens so rapidly and so fast that people have lost their ability to just be patient. But if you can be patient, then the stock market will reward you greatly over the long run. Because when we look at it, by and large, over the long run, you'll get an 8 to 10% return on your money, which is far greater than just leaving it in a savings account. I did a video on that recently, and the results were not too pretty. One of the reasons that I push investing so hard onto my friends and family is because I have zero faith in the government to be able to take care of us when we're old. I am of the opinion that Social Security will either A, be gone by the time that my generation is old enough to receive it, or B, that they will have slowly increased the age limit to a point where you'll be too old to actually start receiving money because you'll probably have died before then. You'll have no one there to take care of you. So you have to learn to take care of yourself. And it's a lot easier to take care of yourself if you do all the work up front. Now, I know it seems hard to invest, especially with how expensive things are now. Getting by and living paycheck to paycheck doesn't leave much room for investing. But that's when you need to be investing the most. That's when you need to be mastering your finances, becoming financially literate and educated, making a budget and sticking to it, so that you can have some money left over to invest. Because let's face it, going to McDonald's 5-10 years ago didn't cost near as much as it does today. Inflation, which is often called the hidden tax, is stealing the value of our dollars, making them worth less or worthless over time. If you think it's hard now, just wait till you're older. You'll be more tired, possibly have more health conditions as you age. Things will be more expensive. Next thing you know, you're going to be one of those 70 or 80-year-old people standing inside the Walmart being like, "Welcome to Walmart." Or worse, like I saw earlier, an old lady working at a McDonald's. A McDonald's should be like a starter job for when you're in high school, not a job you take when you're 70 or 80 so that you can afford to pay your rent, because that's how tight you have to live, paycheck to paycheck, and you don't have any other options besides current minimum wage. We know the education system's broke. They'll teach us that A squared plus B squared equals C squared, and that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell. But they're not going to teach you how to file your own taxes or how to invest so that way you can have money in the future. It's up to us to learn this stuff on our own. Now, thank God that we have the internet and the age of information. Most human knowledge is accessible to us 24/7 as long as we have an internet connection. So as long as you have a way to Google something, or to even hop on here on YouTube and start looking things up, then for free you can learn most things you need to know. Your future depends entirely on what you do today. If you take the steps to learn how to invest and to just get started, even if it's with a small amount, and you can only do a few bucks here and there a week, over the long run, it will pay off, or it will yield dividends, as some people like to say. And if you don't, no one's coming to save you. How your future turns out depends entirely on what you do for yourself today. It may be tight, it may be hard, you may have to give up a few things that you like, cut out a subscription or two, so you can have just a few dollars a month to invest. But you gotta get started and stick with it. Starting and staying consistent are the two biggest factors that determine whether or not you're gonna make it financially. I'm not saying that putting $5 in every week for 20 years is going to buy you a penthouse and a Lambo or a Bugatti. But what I am saying is putting in $5 every week for 20 years is going to take a massive burden off your shoulders when you're older and you can't work, so that you can have enough money to pay your rent or to buy food. There's nothing worse than being broke your entire life, always struggling and stressing, never able to actually live, but constantly in a state of survival. I've been there and done that. I hated it and never want to do it again. The taste of hunger is one of the reasons that I'm so aggressive with investing and working hard, that I try to limit my expenses. I push myself harder than anyone I know, because I've been where most of them would never want to go, and I don't want to go back. I understand the basics of investing, the principles, and I've learned a lot along the way. And the biggest thing I learned is you just need to start. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or 28. I started when I was 25, and I'm 28 currently. And my only regret is that I didn't start sooner. I didn't know any of this stuff back then, and I had no one to teach me. And it was one of those cases of you don't know what you don't know. As soon as I started learning about it, I went full force. Books, podcasts, videos. It was Alex Hermosi who had said, the best investment you make is in the S&Me 500, not in the S&P 500. Focus on educating yourself and stacking skills, in making your mistakes and learning from them so you can grow. Because there's nothing worse than waking up one day, realizing the past 30 years have passed you by, and you're still stressing about making your rent payments or your minimum payments on your credit cards. Like I say at the beginning of every video, YOLO. You only live once, and the quality of life you have tomorrow depends on what you do today. So just get started. The sooner you can get your feet in the door, make a few mistakes and learn from them, the sooner you can actually start progressing and growing. My recommendation would be to keep diligent notes of everything. It's really inspiring when you can look back and see progress that you've made. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.